Welcome to the world where Hollywood's glitz meets groundbreaking transformations. Beyond the flashing cameras and red carpets lie stories of stars who have shattered gender norms and redefined societal expectations. Today, we're unveiling the inspiring journeys of 10 iconic celebrities who have courageously broken gender boundaries in ways that might surprise you. Stick around because the final name on this list will leave you speechless. Drop a 1 inch in the comments and join us on this remarkable journey of discovery. When Sonny and Cher welcomed their child, Chastity, in 1969, they likely could not have foreseen the profound and personal journey that would unfold. Growing up as the offspring of two iconic entertainers, Chastity often appeared in the public eye, yet behind the scenes, an internal struggle was brewing. From a young age, Chastity sensed a disconnect between the gender identity assigned at birth and the person they truly were. While raised and presented as a girl, Chastity quietly wrestled with feelings of detachment from the feminine identity that society had placed upon them. These internal struggles brought immense emotional pain for Chastity as she grappled with the expectations of a society that seemed to leave no space for her true self. She tried to conform to the roles and stereotypes assigned to her, but each attempt only intensified her feelings of inauthenticity. The disconnect from her own body grew more pronounced, leaving her feeling like a stranger in her own life. As she matured, Chastity came to the realization that she was not meant to live as a woman. But facing that truth was an uphill battle. It wasn't just about coming to terms with her own identity. It was about finding the strength to reveal it to the world. The fear of rejection, especially from her family, weighed heavily on her, amplifying the emotional toll of her journey. For years, Chastity silently endured the disconnect between the life she lived and the person she truly was, maintaining a public image that conformed to societal expectations. It wasn't until the late 2000s that she took the courageous step to officially transition. Embracing his authentic self, he adopted the name Chaz Bono, a reflection of the identity he had long suppressed. This decision was far from easy. It was the culmination of a deeply personal journey filled with moments of fear, uncertainty, and emotional pain. Even today, looking back at photos of himself as Chastity remains a bittersweet experience for Chaz, serving as a powerful reminder of the years spent in a body and identity that didn't align with his true self. At 40, Chaz Bono embarked on a life-changing journey to fully embrace his authentic self, beginning with significant physical transformations. He underwent top surgery, which he described as a liberating experience that allowed him to feel a deep sense of comfort in his own skin. Alongside this, Chaz began hormone therapy, with testosterone injections promoting the development of masculine features such as a deeper voice and facial hair. These changes not only reflected his outer transformation, but also marked a powerful internal shift. For Chaz, this was more than a physical transition. It was the gateway to living freely and authentically, unbound by the identity he had struggled with for so long. Chaz Bono didn't just transform his own life. He emerged as a powerful advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, dedicating himself to raising awareness and supporting others navigating similar paths. Inspired by the legacy of his iconic parents, Chaz also pursued a career in the entertainment industry, where he shattered barriers as a transgender man. He made history by becoming the first transgender man to play a male lead role in a feature film, marking a significant milestone for representation. Beyond that, Chaz has showcased his talent in popular shows like The Secret Life of the American Teenager, The Bold and the Beautiful, and American Horror Story, solidifying his place as a trailblazer both on and off screen. Chaz Bono's journey was not only deeply personal, but also required a period of adjustment for his mother, Cher. Cher has openly admitted that accepting Chaz's transition was a challenging process, transitioning from seeing Chastity as her daughter to recognizing Chaz as her son brought about emotional complexities and a learning curve. Even today, Cher sometimes struggles with using the correct pronouns, but her unwavering love and pride for Chaz have never faltered. She has frequently expressed admiration for his bravery, acknowledging the strength it took for him to fully embrace his authentic self and inspiring countless others in the process. Before becoming the groundbreaking female model Andrea Pejic, she was known in the fashion world as Andrea Pejic. During this phase of her career, Andrea captivated the industry with her unique ability to model both men's and women's clothing, a rarity in the modeling world. Her striking features and androgynous beauty made her a standout on the runway, where she effortlessly walked in women's fashion, challenging traditional norms. Andrea's boldness and distinctive style quickly elevated her to prominence, solidifying her status as one of the most sought-after and talked-about models of her time. However, behind the glitz and glamour of the fashion world, Andrea grappled with a deep inner conflict between how others saw her and who she truly was. From an early age, Andrea felt a sense of being different, but couldn't fully understand or articulate those emotions. Born as a boy in Bosnia and later raised in Australia, she faced the challenge of navigating her identity in a world that often demanded rigid conformity to traditional gender norms. This struggle, set against the backdrop of cultural and societal expectations, added layers of complexity to Andrea's journey toward self-discovery. From a young age, Andrea was attracted to things that society deemed feminine. She often played with makeup and wore her mother's clothes, activities that provided her comfort but also a sense of shame. Andrea was acutely aware that society had specific expectations for how a boy should act, and she understood that she didn't conform to those stereotypes. As she entered her teenage years, Andrea's appearance became increasingly distinct, which not only made her stand out but also presented significant challenges. Andrea often faced bullying and isolation as others struggled to comprehend her unique identity. Despite these hardships, she found solace in the fashion industry, where differences were celebrated and embraced. Andrea's gender-fluid beauty captivated top designers, propelling her career to incredible heights as she graced the runways of the world's most prestigious fashion shows. Yet despite her remarkable success, Andrea felt an undeniable void. Deep down, she knew that living as a man wasn't her truth. The idea of transitioning had been with her for years, but the path ahead was daunting. Transitioning meant not only transforming her body to align with her true self, but also facing the potential loss of a career she had worked so hard to build and risking the relationships she had fostered within the fashion industry. But over time, the need to live authentically became increasingly urgent. Andrea realized that she could no longer sustain a life that didn't align with her true self. In 2014, she made the most significant decision of her life: to transition. This choice was not made lightly, but rather as the result of years of internal struggle and a profound desire to be true to herself. Andrea, who had risen to fame as Andrea Pejic, embarked on her journey of gender reassignment surgery, a process that was both physically and emotionally demanding. In an interview with Vogue, she revealed that transitioning was far more complex than simply consulting a doctor and undergoing surgery. It required thorough psychological assessments, medical examinations, and a significant amount of mental and physical preparation. Andrea's candid account shed light on the realities of transitioning, highlighting the resilience and determination required to align her body with her true self. Andrea's career not only endured but thrived following her transition. She broke barriers by becoming the first transgender model to appear on the cover of GQ Portugal, a landmark moment in fashion history. Reflecting on her remarkable journey, Andrea often considers the struggles she has faced and the resilience it took to overcome them. If given the chance to speak to her younger self, she would offer reassurance and encouragement, reminding her that the pain and confusion would one day give way to strength and self-acceptance. Andrea Pejic's story is more than a narrative of gender transition. It's an inspiring testament to authenticity, courage, and the power of embracing one's true self in a world that often resists change. Caitlyn Jenner's life before her transition was defined by Bruce Jenner's legendary status as an Olympic gold medalist in the decathlon at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. Yet beneath the public image of a celebrated athlete, Caitlyn struggled with deeply rooted emotions she couldn't fully understand. As a young boy, Bruce experienced an inexplicable fascination with his mother's and sister's clothing, a curiosity that both intrigued and confused him. These feelings were difficult to express, particularly in an era when conversations about gender identity were virtually non-existent and often stigmatized. To cope with this confusion, Bruce turned to sports as an escape from the complicated thoughts swirling in his mind. He poured all of his energy into athletics, achieving remarkable success, including winning an Olympic gold medal. However, even after reaching the pinnacle of his career, Bruce's inner turmoil persisted. His life was not solely defined by his athletic accomplishments, but also by his roles as a prominent father and husband. Despite his public success, unhappiness continued to follow Bruce, contributing to the end of his first 2 marriages. During his marriage to Linda Thompson, Bruce attempted to open up about his gender identity struggles, but Linda's lack of understanding only deepened his sense of isolation. This feeling of loneliness grew stronger when Bruce began dating Kris Jenner. Early in their relationship, he chose to be honest about his past, revealing that he had been using hormones for the past 4 years. However, Kris later admitted that she was unaware of the depth of Bruce's struggles, which created additional challenges in their relationship. Despite the challenges, Bruce and Kris built a strong family and became household names through the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. As the patriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner family, Bruce became a well-loved figure, admired by fans for his role in the family dynamic. However, when Bruce made the life-altering decision to transition into Caitlyn, it came as a shock to the entire family, especially her children. While the initial reaction was one of surprise, the Kardashian-Jenner family came together to support Caitlyn with love and understanding. Their unwavering support throughout Caitlyn's transition highlighted the strength of family bonds, showing that love and acceptance can be a powerful force in overcoming even the most difficult challenges. Caitlyn made the bold decision to transition at the age of 65, a time when many might have chosen to settle into the life they had built. However, for Caitlyn, living authentically was of utmost importance, even in the face of potential risks. In 2015, she courageously came out to the world, gracing the cover of Vanity Fair with the headline, "Call Me Caitlyn." This moment was not just a personal milestone for Caitlyn, but also a watershed moment that sparked a wider conversation about transgender rights. It brought much-needed attention and visibility to the transgender community, helping to raise awareness and challenge societal perceptions in a powerful way. Caitlyn Jenner, once a sports icon, has become a symbol of freedom, courage, and hope for those seeking to live authentically as their true selves. When discussing transgender celebrities who have made a profound impact on society, Laverne Cox is undoubtedly one of the first names that comes to mind. Her breakthrough came with her unforgettable portrayal of Sophia Bursette in the television series Orange is the New Black, where she depicted a transgender woman navigating life in a women's prison. However, before achieving fame and becoming a leading advocate for transgender rights, Laverne's journey was marked by numerous challenges and personal struggles as she worked to embrace her true identity. Her story reflects a powerful and ongoing journey of self-discovery, resilience, and courage, which has made her an inspiration for many. Laverne Cox was born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, where traditional gender roles were deeply ingrained in the community. From a young age, she felt a sense of difference, as she was naturally drawn to things considered feminine. This internal conflict became a source of immense pain in a society that rigidly adhered to gender norms. During her teenage years, Laverne endured relentless bullying, with classmates mocking her for expressing what they perceived as femininity. These difficult and painful experiences, though harsh, played a pivotal role in shaping the resilient and determined woman Laverne would ultimately become, fueling her drive to live authentically. One of Laverne's earliest passions was dance, a love she developed for the movement, rhythm, and the sense of freedom it gave her. However, pursuing this passion came with its own set of challenges. Laverne had to convince her mother to allow her to take dance classes, as her mother was hesitant about her son participating in an activity considered feminine. While she agreed to let Laverne take tap and jazz classes, she drew the line at ballet, deeming it too feminine. Despite these restrictions, Laverne embraced every opportunity to dance, dedicating herself wholeheartedly to the art form and finding joy in each step. As Laverne Cox grew older, the internal conflict between her authentic self and society's rigid expectations became even more intense. Raised in a strict religious environment, she was taught that her feelings were sinful, and the resulting guilt and shame weighed heavily on her. Eventually, this emotional turmoil became unbearable, leading to a dark moment of despair when she swallowed a bottle of pills in an attempt to escape her pain. Miraculously, she survived, and this experience became a pivotal turning point in her life. Although it took years for Laverne to fully embrace who she was, these hardships did not break her spirit. Instead, they fueled her determination to continue her journey towards self-acceptance and authenticity. Eventually, Laverne left Alabama to chase her dreams in New York City, where she could explore her identity more freely. In this vibrant and diverse city, Laverne began her transition. The process was not easy and was filled with emotional and physical challenges, but it also brought her a profound sense of liberation. For the first time in her life, she began living as the woman she had always known herself to be. Laverne's big break came with the series Orange is the New Black, where she portrayed Sophia Bursette. This role was not only well-written but also deeply authentic, as Laverne's personal experiences were mirrored on screen. Through this portrayal, she humanized the transgender experience, fostering a powerful sense of empathy and establishing herself as a pivotal figure in the fight for transgender rights. With her expanding platform, Laverne has emerged as a powerful advocate for the LGBTQ+ community, utilizing her fame to educate others about the challenges faced by transgender individuals and to promote greater acceptance and equality. Laverne's efforts have been instrumental in shifting public perceptions, making her a beacon of hope for many within the community. Her message is simple yet impactful: trans is beautiful. Laverne Cox's courage and resilience serve as an inspiration not only to individuals but to an entire generation seeking acceptance and equality in society. Fallon Fox's journey is a powerful example of resilience, courage, and breaking down barriers in a world often resistant to change. As a trailblazer in mixed martial arts, MMA, Fallon's path was about more than just winning fights. It was about asserting her identity and opening doors for transgender athletes in sports. Born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, Fallon knew from a young age that she didn't fit the conventional mold. She always felt more at ease around girls, but expressing this truth in a society with rigid gender expectations proved challenging. Like many transgender individuals, Fallon struggled to understand her identity, especially in an environment that strongly upheld traditional gender norms. Despite these challenges, she pushed forward, eventually becoming a trailblazer in the MMA world and a symbol of strength and courage for the LGBTQ+ community. Fallon Fox's experience with her parents, like many transgender individuals in that era, was marked by a lack of understanding and resources to help her navigate her emotions. When Fallon came out as transgender, her parents' reaction was far from supportive. Her mother struggled to accept the news, while her father insisted that Fallon was simply gay and could be fixed. This misunderstanding led to Fallon being subjected to conversion therapy, a controversial and widely discredited practice aimed at changing a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. For Fallon, this attempt to fix her was not only painful, but also a misguided effort to force her into a box that never fit, reinforcing the struggles she faced in her journey toward self-acceptance. Despite the immense pressure from her family and society, Fallon Fox had a deep, unwavering understanding that she was not a man and needed to transition to live authentically. The decision to transition was incredibly difficult, especially since she had to undertake this journey without the support of her parents. Yet, with incredible courage and perseverance, Fallon remained steadfast in her determination to embrace her true identity. The road was challenging, but Fallon's commitment to living as the woman she always knew she was helped her navigate the hardships and continue her journey towards self-acceptance. After transitioning, Fallon Fox made history as the first openly transgender athlete in MMA. This was no small feat in a sport renowned for its strict standards of endurance and masculinity. However, when Fallon entered the MMA world as a female fighter, she encountered significant backlash and scrutiny regarding whether she had an unfair advantage over her opponents. Many critics contended that being born male endowed Fallon with more strength than the women she competed against. The most difficult aspect for Fallon was not only the external criticism, but also the shift in how her peers perceived her. Before coming out, she was able to blend in as a regular female athlete. But once her story was revealed, everything changed. People she had trained with for years began to view her differently, no longer seeing her as a competitor, but rather as someone who didn't belong in the sport. Despite the challenges she faced, Fallon Fox continued to fight both inside and outside the ring. She was determined to prove that transgender athletes have a rightful place in sports and refused to let prejudice or ignorance push her to the sidelines. Her story is not just about being an athlete, but an inspiring journey of fighting for equality and acceptance. Jennings has become a powerful symbol of the transgender experience, particularly as a voice for young transgender individuals. She first captured public attention at the age of 6 in a groundbreaking interview with Barbara Walters, where she candidly shared her story. From an early age, Chaz displayed an unwavering understanding of her identity, expressing that she was a girl despite being assigned male at birth. Her interests and behaviors reflected this inner truth, from borrowing her sister's dresses to joyfully dancing in high heels. Chaz's openness and courage at such a young age paved the way for greater awareness and acceptance of transgender children worldwide. Chaz's unwavering sense of identity was evident in her insistence on being recognized as a girl, correcting her parents whenever they mistakenly referred to her as a boy. She often dreamed of a magical fairy who could transform her body into one that matched her true self, a poignant reflection of her deep desire for alignment between her inner identity and outward appearance. Fortunately, Chaz's family embraced her transgender identity with love and understanding. Their support not only gave her the confidence to embrace herself, but also empowered her to become a powerful advocate and role model for others in the transgender community. As Chaz grew older, she made the bold decision to share her journey with the world, using her story to foster understanding and acceptance. Her life became the focus of the TLC series I Am Chaz, which provided an intimate look at the challenges and victories of growing up as a transgender teen. Chaz's bravery and transparency helped her become a trailblazer in breaking down misconceptions about transgender individuals. Beyond television, she rose to prominence as a YouTube content creator and an outspoken activist, earning her a spot on Time magazine's list of the 25 most influential teens of 2014, cementing her role as a voice for equality and empowerment. What truly sets Chaz apart is her extraordinary self-confidence and resilience. When faced with questions about how she handles judgment from others, Chaz gave a profoundly empowering response. "The only opinion that truly matters is my own, because I define who I am, not anyone else." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates her commitment to self-acceptance and authenticity. Jennings remains a beacon of inspiration, using her platform to advocate for transgender rights and foster understanding. Her story transcends personal triumph, evolving into a larger movement that promotes acceptance and inclusivity for the transgender community worldwide. Carmen Carrera's rise to prominence began when she competed on the third season of RuPaul's Drag Race, where her glamorous looks and captivating performances quickly made her a standout in the drag community. However, her life took a significant turn after being eliminated from the show, as she decided to transition from male to female. This transition was not only deeply personal, but also played out in the public eye, which presented its own set of challenges. Many who had known Carmen primarily as a drag performer found it difficult to accept her new identity as a woman. For some, Carmen was still seen as the man who had once performed in women's clothing, and shifting their perception of her was a challenging and complex process. Despite these obstacles, Carmen continued to forge her own path, embracing her true identity and becoming an important voice for the transgender community. Carmen Carrera was resolute in her decision to live authentically and hoped that by sharing her journey, she could contribute to normalizing the transgender experience. Her transition not only reshaped her own life, but also sparked critical conversations about language, respect, and the representation of transgender people within the LGBTQ+ community. One significant moment in her advocacy came when she spoke out against a controversial segment on RuPaul's Drag Race called She or He. Carmen found the game deeply offensive, especially in light of the difficulties transgender individuals often face. Her comments sparked backlash from some members of the Drag Race community who accused her of being ungrateful. Despite the criticism, Carmen stood firm, using the moment to raise awareness about the importance of respect and inclusion in the LGBTQ+ community. Despite the backlash, Carmen Carrera remained unwavering in her commitment to advocating for a more respectful and inclusive approach to transgender issues. Today, she is not only a successful model, gracing runways around the world, but also a passionate activist for transgender rights. Carmen continues to leverage her platform to raise awareness and foster greater understanding and acceptance of the transgender community. While controversy still lingers around certain moments from her time on RuPaul's Drag Race, Carmen has expressed that there is no animosity between her and RuPaul. She has made it clear that if they were to meet again, she would greet him with a hug, emphasizing her focus on progress and reconciliation. Carmen's journey is not only a story of personal transformation, but also a relentless effort to raise awareness and create positive change in society. She has become a symbol of resilience and advocacy, using her experiences to inspire others and fight for a more inclusive and understanding world for the transgender community. Thank you so much for watching today's video. The stories of transgender individuals are not just about physical transformation, but about the profound journey of self-discovery and acceptance. We hope that through these stories, you can feel the empowering freedom of living authentically. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to share them in the comments below. Let's keep supporting one another and continue spreading the message of love and acceptance. See you in the next video.